Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got an interesting Sunday topic video for you now with 100% more polo shirt. When you're making a jump from free to play, the jump from spending to free to play, it's a tricky one. I had a few people reach out over the last year to say, Rich, how do you do it? How did you make that decision to go from spending to non-spending? And TLDR, I in 2021, at the end of 2021, kind of like early 2022-ish, I wouldn't say it's December 2021, made a decision that I wanted to change what I was doing. I wanted a fresh challenge. I wanted to align myself with a large quantity of the player base who are free to play in this game and just figure out, you know, the best way to approach stuff and not go, hey, I could just spend right now and get a rank 3 7-star or several rank 3 7-stars and go, this is the option. I'm going to take on this content and I can get it blitzed. But it doesn't really give you a fair reflection of how everyone else is doing to how you go about finding the right place to grab this resource or that place to grab that, rank up champions, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to do that. I wanted to give myself a bit of a challenge to do so. And also I was disenfranchised with the way that depreciation was working in this game. Ascension something as well we'll talk upon in a minute. And also the way that Kabam handled broken deals that they had done, that kind of like, you know, it just wasn't working out and they just wouldn't compensate correctly and refund people. So there's a lot of stuff to that, but I mainly wanted to have a new challenge. However, there's some things I do want to mention. This isn't a kind of like a militant thing of going like, oh, we must all switch to free to play right now because, you know, this is the right way to do things. I do agree in a balance. Game developers need to be financially supported. There is a bit of a fine line between saying, oh, give more money to Kabam. There is this problem that Kabam have in that they cannot change their pricing scheme, mainly because they're earning this amount. Netmarble expect them to earn this amount. Shareholders expect Netmarble to perform. Kabam Marvel Contest of Champions is the biggest cash cow for Netmarble. So if you expect when Netmarble bought Kabam that they didn't want a return on their investment, then you don't know business. That is what they wanted to do. It is very, very rare to go, do you know what, we're just going to give Kabam Marvel Contest of Champions as a charitable kind of like cause. And so basically deals are next to nothing. No, they're not going to do that. That would be brilliant, but they're never going to do that. So there's always this fine line between it, and I do think there is some good deals on, or good things on offer that Kabam do, and that is like Summoner Sigil. I think if you're looking to spend anything in game, Summoner Sigil is the way to go, mainly from what you get back from it. Several years ago when it was first introduced, it was terrible, and then got better over those years to a point now where, and I am annoyed about this, you know, Arena Express mode, extra solo events, energy refresh, some Scarlet Witch Sigil, you know, that's these things that I would have liked to have seen for everybody is just behind a paywall, and I just don't like that. It's not really great. And there's other things as well, like the Banquet event isn't as fun as it used to be because there's, I mean, look, there was cheating in that one, but that's true. But there's stuff like the event is predominantly a spending event, and non-spending players don't get a lick of chance unless you're like willing to farm units for the entirety of the year, missing out on other great deals and going, I'll just throw it all on that one. So there's a bit of a fine line to it. But any case, let's get to pros to switching and then cons to switching. So one of the biggest pros to switching is money, saving money. You know, that's the main thing. It's difficult in this day and age to warrant the amount of spend that this game has, especially if you're looking to grab things like, you know, deals, like daily kind of like class deals and stuff. And they do get quite good when you get to Valiant, but at the same time, like the amount of cost adds up. If you look at it, like if you're spending nearly $10 a day over the course of the year, it's pretty big. And you know, if I'm just going like, if I say like $10 times, what was it, 365? That's $3,650 a year on those deals alone. So it's such a tough one if you're looking to do that. There is stuff in there, but and you get the Valiant stamp or you know, whatever stamp it is, but it's just a case of things add up. There are people that, you know, will frantically spend on the game the same way that if you kind of go and grab some of the other deals, if you look at what you could get with that particular money, like it's scary. It's really scary. Banquet event is a very big And look, if you got expendable income, you got expendable income. If you got that, you could sling myself and help out a content creator who's trying to buy a house, and please do. That would be very helpful. Shout out to, oh, by the way, shout out to Scarlet Rick, who very kindly sent one of the super chats on the videos. I've got to get back to live streaming at some stage, but I just can't at the moment with work and working 2 jobs as well. Come on, support. But that's the thing as well. I've got to be very careful about that money, because then you go, well, I could better spend that in other areas. And there's a fine line as well between people going like, oh, YouTube, everything can be put down as a tax deductible. I'd rather have like a PC that I do need, by the way, which I can't afford at the moment, to go, oh, I need a £4,000 to £5,000 PC, which is, I'm trying to save up, but it's tough to kind of get that particular expense done. But it's not just me. Everyone else is in the same situation. Different countries, different pricing schemes and situations. Mortgage prices are so much different in different countries. Price to get anything nowadays is difficult. So you have to make a very kind of like important decision as to how you spend your money, and that's a life thing as well. Don't overspend, don't live beyond your means, and I think that's massively important. So anyway, I've gone off on a tangent really. So if you don't agree with Kabam's direction, you don't have to spend. Like, Kabam makes some decisions that really don't benefit the player base. Sometimes they do. Mastery loadouts took years to be put in. I'm very much glad that they are in now. But you've got to make these decisions as to how you feel Kabam are taking the game. If you feel they're not taking the game in the direction that you want, then at least you can say, well, I've not financially backed that. The same way that any company that you like, you might be like, I love this restaurant, I like this particular product, I like this football team, I like this Major League Baseball team, cricket team, whatever you like, and you might be like, I financially support them through merchandising, going to buy tickets or whatever. If they're not spending money wisely, then you can go, well, I'm not going to financially spend on this. Like, I'm not going to do it. So make those decisions. It's kind of like that's down to you how you feel about that. Depreciation. Just quickly on the topic of depreciation. A lot of the champions that I got very early on back in the day there's no value in them. The only value in 4 stars for me at the moment, I like to find value where there isn't, and that is that these can be used in summoner trials. So I usually rank up these to rank the furthest ranks. I've got a good chunk of them. What's that? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So well over, like nearly 50 4 stars ranked up. And the reason I've had that or done that is so that they can do summoner trials or do chunk them each time. And I do recommend that because it allows you to go certain places. Also, as I've said before, arena boosts. I'm hoarding mine at the moment because I haven't got time to do a session to get properly farm. But I try as best I can to keep 5 of 5 on them. If I do have 1 extra, then I will go and farm with it. But yeah, that's really it. That's the best way you can kind of mitigate the arena express mode, which is sad, but that's the best way to kind of like mitigate that kind of loss factor. What else? Being with everybody else, like a lot of the player base is free to play, so making that decision to be aligning with a lot of other people, I think, is a really important thing, because you share what everyone else is. Everyone else is, they're fighting hard to get in battlegrounds and go higher up. They're fighting in different areas against bad matchmaking. They're fighting really hard to be in the top alliances. They're fighting really hard elsewhere to go, look, I don't spend in this game, but I really want to show that I can either be skillful or at least kind of like, throw hands with the big boys with it. So that's really it. Those are the key things when it comes to kind of the pros to switching, saving money, self-gratitude as well with getting content done, not cutting corners, or finding clever ways to cut corners, which I think I do as I've gotten older, to kind of find the best ways to cut corners to save my own time, because it's very difficult to find the balance between daytime working, nighttime working, and then trying to keep my life together essentially, and also play the game, make content on the game, and all those particular things. You have to work hard, like you really do. And I think everyone gets that in life. Nothing, there's no cut corners with life, although I do say about it in the game. But that's the thing, it's like games all about trying to find strategy to make things work for you, and that's the pros when it comes to switching to non-spending. Let's go to the cons of switching. And look, you want to get the best champions. Of course, like how you'd go about getting them would either be you buying early access deals, and that's something that I do miss, is getting early access deals, which we've got none at the moment, to get some of the newer champions. I would have loved Serpent, and that's the thing about putting an advantage in if you're putting them in defense or in battlegrounds. You know, your onslaughts, your serpents, your any champion that's kind of come in and has been a frustrating defender, then at least what you've done is you've got that champion and you've fielded it early, and a lot of the time it creates advantage in alliance wars. I've seen it time and time again. We've done it in our alliance in last season, where you just get the new champion, put it in defense, and everyone just kind of like doesn't know how to play against it. It's wrong, but look, it's a thing. As I've said, one of the big things is the Arena Express. There is one way, as I said, like if you get the Summoner Sigil, you can work around that from a non-spending standpoint. But there are a few things in here, like the energy refresh, the extra gold, the exclusive solo event, which does allow you a large chunk. Like I think it's like 75 units, so an extra 75 units over 52 weeks in a year is 3,900 units over the course of a year for free. So, well, not for free, you have to pay for it. And you kind of look at it going like, oh, mate. And the same thing with like the collector's daily deal for units. Like that adds up as well over the length of time. Is that a month? With it, 735. I think it's over the. Is it the course of a month? 30 days. So there, if you kind of like grab, what was it, 735? 735 times 30, because I used to love this. 735 times 12 we'll go with. So yeah, again, an extra 8,820 units. Yes, you do have to buy that 12 times, which is $120. But you look at it as going like, look, the value of that collector deal versus getting for a year the where is it? Like All Father's Odin Vault, which is $99. Don't ask why mine's $199. You get the idea. Like there's ways that these deals are just going to benefit you when it comes to the Banquet event, Cyber Weekend deals, July 4th deals, and stuff like that. So yes, early access to progression titles. So one thing that I have touched upon is this early access to progression titles. Kabam won't say. They'll probably say I'm wrong on this one, but the point of the matter is, if you remember, and Pepperidge Farm remembers, November last year, we had Necropolis release, do a completion, then spend money on Cyber Weekend deals to grab the amount of Tier 4 Alpha. You grab that, you became a Valiant without having to 100% Necropolis, which is something that Kabam Mike did. Kabam Mike did that. So from a non-spending standpoint, you would have to, in the space of a month, 100% Necropolis. No easy feat. I did it in 2 months, and I still think that was relatively impressive for myself. So yeah, once I prepared for that, it was then ranked up the champions and go in. So that's something, early access to these particular things can give some great advantage, and we've seen it. Like if you haven't seen my daily crystal openings, Valiant crystal openings, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The advantages are ridiculous. Next month I'm hoping to do I'd say 100, but I think it's going to be 60 or 50 or something like that. We'll have to see. Another kind of like big opening to go, hey, this is what I picked up from these daily crystals, and it's amazing. So that's something as well to kind of like point out. It's the loss of, it's because things, and as I said, like grindy. The game is grindy, but at least from a spending standpoint, you can choose to not do certain bits of content because you can make gains elsewhere. A good example being Runestones. Runestones, look, if you were like, well, I'm not going to get Battlegrounds Gladiator Circuit, and the bottleneck last month when it came to making that jump from Vibranium to Gladiator Circuit ruined my feeling towards the mode in general. So I was in silver or bronze or whatever, so I worked my way up, and it was just so grindy that I was just like, I can't anymore. I put in my points that I wanted to help out the alliance, But I was like, I can't do this. This is just so grindy, and I'm just so bored of this. So you got this chance now to go, well, I can just spend in order to kind of like bypass the content, and that's something that I just don't like too much. There's also the Banquet event, and something that I do want to point out. The Banquet event is something that making gains from a free-to-play standpoint is tough. I tried to put in anything between 10,000 to 20,000 units into that, but I've had to farm that all year to kind of do it. So that's the thing as well. You do lose out in trying to get higher progression in that. You have to rely on your alliance base. But if you're willing to put a little bit in, you can get some nice stuff from it. It's just more from a rank standpoint. The finish rank from the solo is where you want to be, and that's the sad truth of it. So making that switch to non-spending means that you have to work harder. And that is the thing, isn't it? Like, your time is something you're going to have to value. Do I value my time or do I value my money? And it's making those decisions. Like, if you value your time, you're going to spend. If you value your money, then it's going to take you more time. That's probably one of the most profound things I'm ever going to say. I'll have to put that as like title or something like that. But in any case, there are pros and cons, and this is just down to like you. Are you motivated to do something that I did or many other players do when it comes to the Switch? Are you free to play going, I understand the struggles? Have you considered it? Have you done it? Have you gone back to spending in game? You know, and that's the thing. There's no problem with spending in this game. I just said it's important in some ways to keep servers running and support this game. And I'd love to see it run, and in a further 10 years. That would be amazing. It would be 2034. If the game's still running in that time and the community is still somewhat there, then that is brilliant. And I really would like to see it. But of course, netmarble need to see return on their money, the same way that kabam need to see that the things are still relatively successful, and whether or not any competition. Maybe we have Marvel Contest of Champions too by then. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.